What's up, everybody? Big day here for the Gooner family. Obviously, lots to talk about as the Super League announcement came down last Sunday night. We have a game today. Oh, yeah, there's a protest outside the Emirates Stadium today. I put out a tweet a couple of days ago, maybe 2 days ago. Get yourselves, if you're in America, get yourselves to, well, if you're in America, if you're in Los Angeles, specifically Englewood, get yourself to SoFi Stadium at that's Pacific time, so that'd be about 10 a.m. Out on the West Coast. If you live in the Mountain Time Zone, the Kroenke Zone sports teams in Denver, get yourselves to Ball Arena in downtown Denver, where the Nuggets of the NBA and the Colorado Avalanche of the NHL play their home games and protest outside of there. Make sure that he feels this just about everywhere. I have a massive pimple on the side of my face, by the way, so don't anybody make fun of me because of that. Anyway, how's it? Got 23 watching right now, and I am flying solo today, ladies and gentlemen. I have some messages out to people. BX Gunner, anyone know if there are any live feeds? All I would say is keep refreshing Twitter. I am sure that people, I'm not sure about any live feeds, but I would imagine that people will be taking videos, posting them to Twitter. I have a few messages out to people who I do know are at the Emirates actually as we speak, trying to get them to go live. StreamYard does work from your phone, so hopefully I will be getting some moving pictures from some people here relatively shortly. I apologize for being late, everyone. Sometimes life can foil even the best laid of plans. So, biggest news today outside of the game. I don't even know how big news, how big the game actually being played today is. I think most Arsenal fans are more concerned with the protest. I don't really want to spend too much time talking about Ray Parlour and the Robbie thing on TalkSport today. Just whatever your thoughts on Arsenal Fan TV are, I will tell you this: it's a bad look from Ray Parlour. I watched it. In my opinion, it's a bad look. You just journalistically, you just don't ambush someone. You don't ambush a guest that comes on a program. That's just it's a bad look journalistically. What Ray Parlour did to Robbie today was and like I said, I personally don't care what you think of AFTV. It's just not that's just not professional. The way that Ray Parlour handled that situation, but we cannot lose sight, ladies and gentlemen, of what today is about. Today is about, obviously, it's about 3 points against Everton. That goes without saying, but it is about uniting as one fan base. Everything in the past, put it aside. This is about doing what's best for this football club. Kroenke Sports and Entertainment are not. They have shown what is best for this football club. We need to stand in one united voice and tell them that it is time to sell. And we can't let any outside distractions, get in the way of that. Let's stay laser focused here on what the big picture is. Okay, AFTV they're a side note. Okay, with this football club, that's it. And the Ray Parlour thing, like I said, to me, as far as I'm concerned, we need to stay united. Don't let Ray Parlour or Robbie from AFTV divide us. Stay laser focused on what the goal of today is, and that's to get Kroenke Sports and Entertainment to hear us in one voice, loud and clear, say it is time for you to go. Ray Parlour is a clown, according to Lone Star Londoner. Yeah, I've met Ray a couple of times. Nice guy. He was a nice guy to me. I'm not going to sit here and call him a clown or anything. That's just, I'm not going to do that. But he was a good guy to me. But this was definitely a bad look on his part. E.K. Emmons, what do I think of Josh Kroenke's statement? Corporate, just very corporate. It's reading from a script. He's going to give you all of the platitudes that you would expect to hear in a situation like this. Did he really tell us anything did he say anything that was shocking, that was groundbreaking, that was just, over the top? Like, wow, I can't believe he said that. No, absolutely not. Fact is, he talked about rebuilding trust, rebuilding a bridge. The fact is that didn't exist before. And Akil of the Arsenal Supporters Trust said it never existed before. How can you rebuild something that was never built in the first place? And with Josh and Stan, I've said this with Kroenke Sports and Entertainment, and I have defended these guys almost to the hilt in the past, because in America, under an American sports league model, they are relatively successful owners. You're not going to win the championship every year, whatever sport we're talking about here. You're not going to win the championship every year. Their teams are competitive. They're in the conversation more often than not, but they don't understand. And again, and I'm quoting Akil here again from the Arsenal Supporters Trust yesterday. You don't understand what running a European, English, specifically football club is all about. And the thing to keep in mind with this is where these clubs started from. Okay. The Kroenkes had money and they bought into the clubs in America, the franchises in America that they own. Over there, it's different. These clubs sprung from a night at a pub 100 years ago or more. And, a group of factory workers decided to get together and say, we're going to start a football club. We're going to reach out to other local clubs and see if they want to play a game. And that's where these clubs came from. Grassroots efforts. It wasn't money. It was about, let's get together and do something fun, competitive, but have a little fun with it. And if you ever get the chance, and I said this, I believe, on Tuesday night, I know I've said it on other shows. If you're ever at the Emirates and you ever get a chance to walk around the club level, they're no bigger than a speed limit sign on the side of the road. But basically tells the story of how Arsenal Football Club was started in 1886 at a pub called the Royal Oak in Kent, just outside of London. And it's a pretty cool thing. There are 6 or 7, I think, different signs on the wall, and it's neat to see. But that's the difference. These clubs were grassroots efforts. It wasn't just, hey, if you've got the money, you can buy in. It wasn't about that. So I'm going to be checking Twitter here, and if you guys will bear with me, kind of the first time I'm going solo here, so we're going to see how it goes. It's going to be as much an experiment for you as it is for me. But nothing I see on Twitter yet. I do have some pictures, but it really just looks like, quite frankly, just a normal day outside the Emirates Stadium. I've got a picture here outside the Armory, just some people milling about. Nothing to show you there yet. We are T-minus, where are we at here? We've got about 35 minutes here before things really are supposed to kick off. So a lot of you commenting on the Ray Parlour thing. And like I said, I'll just reiterate, guys, stay focused here. Don't let the Ray Parlour and AF TV thing distract you from what is the most important part of today, and that is Kroenke out. And nothing has united this fan base the way that this has. We've seen the Wenger out banners, Wenger in, and it split the fan base, 50-50. AFTV, yeah, they split the fan base. There's a large contingent of the fan base that likes them. But this is something that you don't see. I don't see anyone, quite frankly, who is Kroenke. And I ran a poll, and I'll actually pull that up here because I think it's set to expire here within the next half hour, give or take. 525 votes. Interestingly enough, 6%. Are you Kroenke in or are you Kroenke out? 6% say they're Kroenke in. That could just be, that's a small enough number out of 525 votes. That's a small enough number. It could just be, people of other fans of other football clubs, just, having a go. But 94% of that poll said Kroenke out. And that is, again, that's the main focus of today. Twitter, a lot of people posting pictures of leaving their house, getting on the train. Sky Sports are on the scene, apparently. Sorry, guys. Thirsty, this talking business. Wears on your vocal cords after a while. Got to stay hydrated. But yeah, Sky Sports on the scene in the roundabout outside, just across the street from the Armory at the Emirates Stadium. This is a big deal. Fact is, this is a big, big deal. Social media, for the first time in recent memory, has been used as a tool of good, as a tool of change for good. The Arsenal fan base united. It seems like there's going to be a lot of people. I would say, if I had to guess how many people were going to show up at the Emirates today, I would go anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 people, just based on what I've seen online, social media, things like that. I would bet that there will be 5,000 to 10,000 people showing up at the Emirates today, and that would be tremendous. If we could get more, even better. Let me scroll through some of your comments here. Ray Parlour is upset about the treatment and abuse Wenger received. Is AFTV partly to blame? It could be. I was a Wenger out guy, but I'm not going to sit there and abuse him. Look, these guys, full credit to Robbie, because he cashed in on a very emotional time, very volatile time within our football club. And the fact is that if it weren't for Robbie, guys like Robbie, the late Claude, obviously, I wouldn't be doing this, and I know a lot of others wouldn't be doing this. So, AFTV, for whatever you think of them, that they're not the issue today. Monish, Royal Arsenal Armory Workers started in 1886. That's that's what it was. Actually, the Woolwich Wanderers is how it started. That's what we were known as first. Then we became the Royal Woolwich Arsenal. Dropped the Royal, dropped the Woolwich, and became the Arsenal later on. Monish, is there relegation in the NBA? If no, would it be good or bad for the NBA to introduce relegation? Here's the problem in American sports. There's only two sports leagues in America even have what we call a minor league system, and that's baseball and hockey. And the minor league clubs are actually owned by the major league clubs. So the NHL, the National Hockey League, they own two minor league hockey franchises. It's a development system. Okay. Whereas in European football, what you have is the second tier, third tier, however many tiers in a particular country. Obviously in England, 4, and then you get into the National League. But those clubs are owned separately, privately. They're not affiliated with one another. Sure, maybe they have a good working relationship, in terms of loans, things like that. But beyond that, the reason that relegation will not work in America is because of the minor league systems, and the major league clubs own those teams. So there's really nowhere for the major league teams to go. The leagues are closed. They were set up that way. They were designed that way. The leagues are closed. They're set up only for expansion. In other words, a few ownership groups will put in a bid when the leagues decide to open up to expansion. You put in a bid. You have the money from a particular city. You say we want to own a franchise in this city. It's very much like, quite frankly, it's very much like opening a McDonald's. McDonald's are franchised. Even you can have multiple franchises owned by different people within one locale. The town I grew up in, Carlisle, Pennsylvania, there seems like there's a McDonald's almost on every street corner, and they're owned by different people. So in American sports, it's very much like that. So, you have, multiple teams in Los Angeles in the NBA, multiple, we'll say Southern California teams in Major League Baseball, two teams, in the NFL, the Jets and Giants in New York. So, you can have multiple teams in a city owned by different people, but the relegation system in American sports just will not work. Now, that being said, if you wanted to get into that a little bit, you could talk about the MLS. And there has been discussion there because there is a second tier to American football, for sake of argument and clarity, American soccer, the MLS. There's a level below that. It is a development system at the moment, but the clubs are still owned individually. In Pittsburgh, we have a team called the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They are not affiliated or owned by any team in the MLS. So relegation and promotion is something that is being discussed within the American soccer format, but nothing yet. So, again, just scrolling through some comments here. Gooner Glenn, talk shit started this, and somebody had talk sport started this, and some of our fans fell into the trap. Exactly. Don't fall into that trap, ladies and gentlemen. Today, laser focus. Kroenke out. Laser focus. AFTV talk sport, non-issue. Kroenke out. Laser focus. The protest at the Emirates Stadium. If you're in Los Angeles or Englewood, California, you can get yourself to SoFi Stadium. Get down there with the sign. Protest, march around the stadium. At the end of the day, the worst thing that can happen to you, you burned a few calories. If you live in Denver, Colorado, or anywhere close, if you can get to Ball Arena in downtown Denver with a sign, get there. Again, same thing, walk around. Denver's a beautiful city. Walk around the arena, walk around the downtown area. It's called Lodo, lower downtown. Walk around downtown Denver. It's beautiful. Burn a few calories. Protest, Kroenke out. That is the message of the day. BX Gunner, he's not going to sell unless we bleed him dry. Look, you got to understand the way that this business model is set up. They're going to make a lot of money off television. Okay. If we really, really wanted to bleed him dry, we would have to give up watching the Arsenal. It's that simple. We'd have to give up watching the Arsenal. We'd have to give up watching football. You can't pay for the subscription service that like for me, it's Peacock or NBC Sports. I pay for Peacock. I'd have to, stop paying for that, which, I'm not going to say it would be fine by me, but, you have to stop paying for the subscription service, stop watching, stop interacting. You'd have to go completely radio silent on this stuff because, you're on social media, you interact. Look, they look at this stuff. Obviously, they look at this stuff because we've seen now since Sunday the power of what social media can do, right? You think these guys woke up Tuesday morning and just said, you know what, we're going to change our mind. We're not going to do this for no reason at all. No, their PR people and their social media teams are seeing what is out there. They're seeing, social media and what people are saying about this Super League, about the greed, about the ownership. So we've seen what social media can do. So you really would have to go completely radio silent on this, not watching any matches, not talking about it. I mean, you'd have to completely give it up. You're talking quitting cold turkey here. I have a better chance of stopping drinking alcohol than I have of giving up watching the Arsenal play games. I mean, I don't have much of an interest, I'll be honest, in today's game. I really don't. But I'm going to watch. But I really just don't have much interest in watching today. Gooner Glenn, what do I class as a big investment this summer? As Josh said, look, it's not the amount of money, okay, that gets spent here. Okay, the Kroenkes have spent money. The numbers are out there. You can find them. Swiss Ramble, go look up Swiss Ramble on Twitter. Do some research, but the numbers are out there. Okay, the Kroenkes have spent money. They've invested in the club in transfers as much as we would like. I mean, that's your opinion. Okay. The money hasn't been spent on the right players. All right. You can get the right players. Theoretically, the right players, and I'm not saying for Arsenal specifically, for any football club, you could potentially bring in the right players for $90 million or 90 million pounds. That could get you 3 players, could get you 5 players. It's not a matter of just constantly throwing massive amounts of money at the problem. It's investing the money properly. That's what we have to do. No scouting department. That's insane to me. How do you know anything about any players in Europe that you might want to bring into the fold here if you have no scouting network? I don't understand that. Maybe these guys are doing what I do, and they just sit around and they scout every player on FIFA and they say, oh, look at this guy, says showing great potential. So maybe we'll bring him in, who knows? It's about the right player, and the right player has to fit the system. Okay. So with Mikel Arteta, we look at what the style is, what the system is tactically, how does he want to play? And now we talk about, okay, position that we want to fill. And we need a player who fits the bill tactically, not just the most expensive, not just the player that Sky or BT or, the Daily Mirror or, God forbid, the Sun. It's just the Telegraph, the Independent, any of these social media journalists, the ITKs, any name that they throw out there. And then all of a sudden we latch onto it because we watched 20 minutes of this guy play and we say, yep, he's got it. He can do it. I want him now. You can't fall into that trap. You have to trust that the powers that be, and this is tough to do because they haven't done it right in 15 years, but the powers that be are going to make the right decisions. One player, Yves Bissouma from Brighton. You know what? Let's take Martin Odegaard because he's here. Martin Odegaard is a player that we know will fit this system, will fit what Arteta wants to do. That would be money well spent, 40 to 45 million pounds. That's the right investment, okay, in terms of dollar amount and player, we know it'll work. But to just say, go out, find the most expensive player and bring him in 250 million pound war chest to go and spend this summer, you probably never spend 250 million pounds, to be honest with you. Because you have to understand as well, players have to want to come here. Teams have to want to sell. And let's use Erling Haaland at Dortmund. Dortmund probably would listen to an offer for 150 million euros for Erling Haaland. Are they going to sell him for 150 million? Not sure. Don't know. They would need an offer that would just blow their doors off to sell him. So you could have a war chest like Manchester City have, like Paris have. But it doesn't always mean that you're going to get the player that you want. That just because you have 250 million quid to spend on a player or on players doesn't mean that you're going to spend that much. It's the right players. So investment, buying new players, spoke screen, get out, Kroenke out. Yeah. Do I think Arsenal will win tonight? Who knows? This team has been so bloody inconsistent with everything that's going on this week. We have no striker. Well, no, I mean, we have Eddie. That's not really going to tickle anyone's fancy. Would love to see Balogun get a start tonight. I would expect him to at least get a shirt and be on the bench, but I think Eddie's going to start, which is unfortunate because I don't think Eddie fits this system. But yet, that being said, he comes on as a sub and he scores at the end of the game. He's done this, 3 times now this year. So who knows? Do I think they will win we will win tonight? No. Honestly, no. I predicted yesterday a 2-0 win for the Arsenal. I'm going to stand with that prediction, but heart of hearts, no, I don't think we're going to win. But Russ, good evening. Yes, good evening, Russ. SJ Chan, this club is crumbling. All because of those assholes. He hasn't put any money into the club since Stan came in. Look at the papers. They published all the investments the team have made. We are at the bottom. Don't know about that, SJ. They define putting money into the club. I mean, we got a new stadium out of them. So, the stadium was in the works. Prior to him coming in, he was the final nail in the proverbial coffin to get the stadium done. So, but the stadium did get done, excuse me. So not 100% sure on the investment thing. I mean, look, the bottom line, the money has been spent on transfers. So something I want to talk about real quick. Yesterday a poll was put up, and I want all of you guys in the chat, 31 of you, by the way, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button for me, or a thumbs down. If you think I'm full of shit, give me a thumbs down. Stipulation on that, you got to tell me why. But if you're Kroenke out, give me a thumbs up. If you're Kroenke out, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't really care which one. Give me one of them. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you're Kroenke out, hit that subscribe button for me, please. The goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season. If I could get to 900 by the end of this month, that would be brilliant stuff as well. I'd also be remiss if I did not mention, link in the description. I have partnered up with Zeus Beard Company here in America. And as you can see, I think I've got a pretty good mane going. And that is thanks to Zeus Beard Company. I use their shampoo, their Lime Verbena shampoo and beard conditioner. I have a beard brush, a beard comb from them as well. There's a link in the description if you order any sort of beard product, beard supply product for yourself from Zeus. Use my code BGZEUS, BG, Bearded Gooner, Zeus, and you will get 10% off. Plus, they offer free shipping on orders over $50. So be sure to check them out. Great stuff. I've used it for years. And like I said, I think I've done a pretty good job here. And a lot of that is thanks to their product. So shout out to Zeus Beard Company. Check the link in the description for that. Kind of lost my train of thought here with where we were. But somebody made a comment about the picture behind hanging over my Al Carp. See the logo I have behind me. You're talking about the Gooner Till I Die, the cannon. It's on the other side. There you go. I'll move it over. Hopefully everybody can kind of still hear me. Move that out of the way. You see the cannon. Yes. Cannon facing the right way. That's Arsenal. Let's refresh Twitter here real quick and see. Let's check out what we're seeing down here from the Emirates Stadium. Still really nothing going on, at least from the pictures that I'm seeing. You know what? Got something here, folks. I am going to drop an invite to someone. By the way, I'll tell you what. We'll open this up. I got 36, 37 now watching live, 38 watching live. If you've got anything you'd like to say on Kroenke out, and I want to keep it Kroenke out. Again, let's avoid the AF TV and Ray Parlour thing today. Not about that. That's going to divide the fan base. We don't want to be divided. We need to stand united. We need to stand united. It's Kroenke out. It's Kroenke out today, all day, all weekend, all next week, all the week after, all the way through the end of the season, all through the summer. It is Kroenke out, 100%. AFTV and Ray Parlour today, they don't matter. They don't matter at all to the cause. The cause is Kroenke out. Stan, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being out there, brother. Hopefully all is well up in Vancouver. Hopefully the weather is remaining cooperative for you. I am dropping an invite to someone who is actually at the Emirates right now, and we're going to try to get him to come on with us and show us, maybe just walk around a little bit, show us the scene going on down there. Eduardo, I don't know how you say his last name. It's Hagn. I believe he's Brazilian. He's South American. I know that. But at Eduardo Hagen, he's standing outside the Emirates right now, standing down near the Armory. I would say it is getting busy from what I can see in that video, folks. It is getting busy down there. So let's keep an eye on things here for somebody that's going to jump in here maybe with us in a little bit. Dave Trance, born and bred in London, lived near Highbury. This is the most depressing time I've encountered. Dave, I can feel your pain, my friend. I really can. Gooner Glenn, Stan, great video on Twitter. Yes, and Stan, I apologize again, man. I've enabled the notifications. Hopefully now I see everything. So I do apologize for not retweeting your video sooner. But everybody, Stan the Man 68. It's right there in the chat. If you're not following him on Twitter, go do so right now. If you don't, shame on you for 6 weeks. Also, scroll his timeline. He has a video up and very well done. In fact, you know what, Stan? I am actually going to bring that up right now because I want to play that for folks. So I'm going to bring that up while we're waiting on someone to jump in here with us and hopefully give us some moving pictures from, and when I say moving pictures, I mean video. Give us some video from what he's seeing at the Emirates Stadium. I did drop him a link. If anyone would like the link, if you want to come on, you want to make your voice heard, let me know, and I will drop the link for you. Neil Armstrong, what's up, man? BG, any demos planned stateside? You know what, man? I put out a tweet, and apparently a lot of people seem to think maybe I'm leading this thing. Look, I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and there's nothing I'm doing here. The Kroenkes do not have any sort of a presence in Pittsburgh whatsoever. So nothing going on here. Matthew Hudson, thanks for being out there, man. What's up? Danny, good to see you, man. Thanks for being out there. Really appreciate it. Obviously, Gooner, Glenn, Stan, Neil, you guys, SJ, Dave, Russ. I just give everybody a Monish, JJ. I apologize. JE, Farah. Thank you for being out there. I apologize if I butchered the first name. Alcarp, James Fernandez is out there. Looking forward to the game later. Like I said before, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I think it'll be the kind of thing once the game actually kicks off, I'll be a lot more into it. Elliot John, BX Gunner, big supporter of the show. EK Emmons is out there as well. If I missed anyone, excuse me, I apologize. Lone Star, missed you. Yeah, another tremendous supporter of the show, of the channel. One team, one dream, brother. You got that right. That is absolutely spot on. Just chatting with at Soccer Diva. This is Sophie from the Highbury squad. Yeah, thinking we need a more coordinated effort here in the U.S. Get Arsenal America involved so we can have crowds outside all of his stadia. That is, yes, absolutely 110%. We need to figure out a way to get that done. Unfortunately, travel around the continental United States as easy as you think it might be right now. It is not. So, Stan, I'm scrolling your timeline here. Here we go. I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to try to I'm going to start this from the beginning, and I am going to share. I'm going to do a share screen here with this, and then hopefully we will get. Hopefully we can get this up, and I'll get Stan. I'll get you on here. Let everybody see the video for sure. So, yep, there we go. All right, here we go. Oh, you can't hear them. Ah, man. Well, all right then. I guess we'll stop that. And sorry, guys, I thought you'd be able to hear it. So that doesn't work. Hey, we all learned something new today. Sorry, guys. Bottom line, go check Stan out on Twitter. Scroll his timeline. You will find that. At any rate, where are we at here? To Extreme RKO. You're not a Randy Orton fan at all, are you? I live in North London. I wish I could have gone down to the protest, but with COVID, I didn't want to risk getting ill. I understand that. And I just want to say that if anybody is actually watching, I doubt that anybody at the protest is actually watching this. But if you are going to the protest, if you're there, if you see this, please, 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 please be safe. Be safe. First and foremost, please be safe while you're out there. Let's and don't get yourself in any trouble either. Okay. Let's the one thing I want to see with this is I want to see it. I want to see everybody united. I want to see everybody being safe. And I want to see it peaceful. I don't want to see people getting arrested, doing anything stupid. That's not what this is about. It's not about being out there and stirring up trouble. All right. The only thing we want to stir up is a feeling in the Kroenkes that they need to sell, that they have lost this fan base 100%. That this is irreparable. We're beyond at this point salvaging anything, any sort of a relationship with the ownership of this club. One thing that Josh said yesterday, he does feel that they are still fit to be the custodians of this club. They're not custodians. They don't look at themselves as custodians of the club. They look at themselves as owners. And they were not expecting the backlash that they got relative to the Super League, the greed, and everything else. Danny Tanner, when I share a video, I have to click share audio in the bottom left corner of the pop-up. Danny, thank you. Appreciate that. Learning something new here every day. But yeah, he said that he felt that they were still fit to be custodians of the club. Well, they never were custodians. They're owners. And until we get them out, there will never be custodians of this club. They are not fit. We need to keep going with this protest. We need to stay united. I'm going to tell you right now, if we win today, and a win would be big today. A win today, we move up to 8th. We go above Everton on goal differential. We'll level them on points, I believe 48 points. But we would go above them on goal differential. And that's big because your Europa League is still on the table for us. We're not that far off of 6th place. The Scum are in 7th. They're well within our sights as well. Would love to have a St. Totteringham's Day this year. Haven't had one for a few. So, but we can't lose sight, even with a win today. We cannot lose sight of Kroenke out. Okay. We take this through next week into Villarreal. And we continue with Kroenke out. Everything from now till the end of the season into the summer transfer window and beyond is Kroenke out. We cannot relent with this. We have to be relentless with this if we want to affect the change that we all want and that we know this club need. A few things that have been posed, and it is an argument for being Kroenke in, and that is the devil you know. because if we sell, we don't know who we're selling to, and are they worse? Could we potentially get worse owners than the Kroenkes? And they exist. Believe me, they definitely exist out there. So that's one thing to keep in mind with this. I am not saying by any stretch that I will take the devil I don't know at this point. I'd much rather deal with the devil that I don't know than the devil that I do, because the devil that I do know isn't doing a good job. Is doing an awful job. So, Stan, if we sell, is this guy deranged moron? Don't know what that means, but yeah, hey, sure. Everybody, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. So, still waiting on You Don't Control the Club Muppet. Yep. Okay, Stan. Well, have at it, man. Go ahead. You know what? Everybody else is united today. You come in and, you want to call me a Muppet. Well, that's fine. I've opened myself up to that. So you tell me why I'm a Muppet there, Stan. Big guy, come in the chat and run your mouth with your little comments and your little keyboard in front of you. Danny, realistically, who in the financial and world climate would want to spend $3 billion plus on a club? That's a real good question. And that is also something we talk about buying and selling players. Fact is, you need two to tango. The Kroenkes might not sell because there might not be anybody to sell to. Alico Dangote wants to buy, but he hasn't put an offer in. He's been saying he wants to buy Arsenal for 10 years now, and he's never once put an offer in. Now, I have read stories about he had some other projects in Africa that he was working on, and he wanted to finish those before making an offer. Well, those projects are done. Nothing is going to happen before the end of the year. All right. So understand, don't think that for 1 minute that this protest today is all of a sudden they're going to come out on Monday and say, hey, yep, you know what? We're sticking a giant for sale sign out in front of the Emirates. It's not going to happen that way. If they decide to put the club up for sale, they will do so in the summer. Would probably take a year, I would think, to probably get it done. And that's being positive about it. That's like quick. So you have to understand this is a process. And that's why I say we cannot lose sight of what the main goal here is. We have to remain relentless in our pursuit of chasing them out of the club. Understand, this is a long-term thing now. Okay. We can't lose interest. If we win the Europa League, that can't deter us. We can't look at we won the Europa League. We're back in the Champions League now. So now let's see. Maybe they'll change it. No, it can't be that. It is in spite of everything. It is in spite of everything. We have to remain laser focused on getting him out of the club. Stanhope, tragic stuff here. Bye. See you, bud. Thanks for poking your head in, pissing all over everything, and then sneaking out the door. Appreciate it. Stay gone. Don't need you here. Tubbs MD, greetings from the Philippines. Thank you very much, friend, for being out there. Really appreciate it. EK Emmons, Kroenke has to spend money to get back into the Champions League. I said this before. It's not about it's spending the right money. It's spending the money on the right player. That's what this is. Okay. It's spending the money on the right players. Spending 250 million pounds on buying 8 new players. Number one, not realistic. Buying 8 new players. That's just not going to happen. But again, you have to have a seller, and player has to want to come. But it's getting the right players in. So, Danny, how much would I personally put in if the fans had a chance to buy the club? Has anyone broken that down? Would £1,000 dollars per person buy it? Well, I mean, do the math. It would take a lot more than that, and there's a lot that goes into it, because you would have to have, Danny, I think there would have to be, like majority shareholders in there somewhere, because if everyone owned the same size piece of the pie with this, probably nothing would ever get done because everybody would have an equal say. And you've got how many, millions of people with an opinion, and how many differing opinions. So you'd have to have someone come in, or some sort of we'd have to take a vote who gets elected to be, president of the board, who are the board members, they would have to be elected, so on and so forth. There's a lot that goes into that. How much would I personally put in to it if I could own a stake of Arsenal Football Club? Wow. I'd have to think about it, but if it were a legitimate, ownership stake in the club, I mean, I would put in some serious change, man. I would put in some serious change. Even if I had to take a loan out, if I could figure out a way to maybe buy in for 50 grand, I'd buy in for 50 grand. I'd have to take a loan to do it. Or I'd have to cash in some things money wise to be able to pull that off. But, if I were just taking my own money and doing it without screwing myself over, I could probably buy in for about 4 or 5 grand. I would do that. I would want to see what is, other than just the ability to say I own a piece of Arsenal. What would my money get me? What sort of seat at the table would my money get me? Cloudy FN, just real quick. Glazers out, Kroenke out. Yeah, here. Well said. And look, I hate to say this, okay, because I did want to see the American ownership thing work, but it just doesn't with the Glazers. Fenway Sports Group with Liverpool, they're an interesting one. Because look, Liverpool have won the Champions League and they've won the Premier League now in back-to-back years. And FSG, in my opinion, they've kind of done it right. They've recognized they recognized the holes that they had, but they recognized the assets they had to be able to sell off to fill the holes. That was Philippe Coutinho and Luis Suarez. They needed a center back. They needed a goalkeeper. They used the money from those two sales to go get those two positions, and look what happened. So FSG, I'm a Red Sox fan. They own the Red Sox. I don't like the way they run the Red Sox at all. But if I'm a Liverpool fan, I asked a good friend of mine is a Liverpool fan, and I asked him the other day, so, what's your take on all of this with FSG, with the Super League? He doesn't like the lack of transparency with the Super League, but he's not FSG out. He likes the way that they run the club. They kind of take a step back. They've put people in positions that know football to do their job. And they trust those people, and those people have come through for them. Look, take the injuries out of that Liverpool side this year. City are better this year than they were last year, but Liverpool are up there. They're in the conversation to win this thing without the injuries that they've had. Their defense has just been, decimated. They've just had an absolutely shit year in terms of luck. Jurgen Klopp's mother passes away in the COVID era. He can't go, be with her. Alison Becker's dad tragically passing away. Same thing there. So from what I can gather with Liverpool, FSG are the ones that are probably, Liverpool are going to be the quietest of the bunch, really, in terms of the American ownership group. So Arsenal, United, and Liverpool, I think FSG are the safest. But yeah, Kroenke's got to go. If you're a United fan, I would think that the Glazers, you want the Glazers out at this point. Ed Woodward is resigning effective the end of the calendar year, not the end of the season, I believe. I believe it's the end of the calendar year, 2021. Dublin Gooner. I don't want the Kroenkes, but I don't want a sugar daddy owner either. Transfer fees and wages need to fall, and the sugar daddy model outlawed. That is brilliant. Now, the sugar daddy, I get the sentiment behind it. But the bottom line is the thing that is needed within European football is a wage cap model or a wage cap structure. Transfer fees, basically, it's just we're going to give you this money, you hold on to it for a little while. Eventually, it'll come back to us. The transfer fees get trickled down through the system, okay? But player wages are out of control. Agent fees are out of control at this point. That's probably the biggest problem when we talk about the sport as a whole, are the wages. You want to make things more competitive, put a wage cap in. Put a wage cap in. That's that's going to be the way to develop parity and make sure that most teams can most teams can compete. Scrolling through Twitter here again just to see if I get any more pictures. And here we go. I'll share this with you real quick. This is from Steph Gold. She is at the Emirates right now. Let me share the screen here. I keep hitting the invite button. Bear with me here just a sec. Yeah, there we go. So that's the crowd outside of the Armory. You can see up above the Armory, there's a crowd up there. This is this is big. This is big and good to see the turnout. Like I said, I just hope everybody remains safe, doesn't do anything stupid. We want to be on the news, but we want to be on the news for all of the right reasons. We don't want to be on the news because somebody acted up and, broke a beer bottle and somebody got stabbed in the neck with it, for crying out loud. We don't need anything like that. Be safe, be vigilant, and just don't do anything stupid while you're there. Keep it peaceful, and stay united. So, here we go. Gooner Glenn, big crowd at the Emirates now. Alex Akundi, Kroenke out. Yep, thanks for being out there, man. Jeffrey O'Hara, fuck Liverpool. Yeah, I'm with you there, man. I'm not a Liverpool guy at all. I do not like Liverpool. They're it's pretty much the scum, then United, then Liverpool. But scenes from the Emirates, that, like I say, that is from Steph Gold. We'll just scroll Twitter here a little bit more. We'll see what else we come up with. Great stuff there from Steph. John O, this is a bit of a close-up of some of the stuff going on at the Emirates. I'll pull this up here for you real quick so you can see. Some of the banners that are flying now. Kroenke, get out of our club. I can't read some of the other ones. Unfortunately, my eyesight isn't that good. The Kroenke out, the big black and white one there, Arsenal. Looks like it says maybe One Love there at the end. I actually saw a bunch of pictures of that banner, I think, being painted. So, guys, I am going to take a quick time out here to grab myself a drink. I'm not logging off. I am not closing anything out. Bear with me here. Gonna take a quick break. Think of it like a radio show. So if you want to grab a drink, you want to grab something to eat, go do that. I will be back here in about 60 seconds. Stay with me. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm going to scroll through here. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you some pictures because it is all. It seems like it is all starting to pop off at the Emirates. At the Emirates now. So we are well into the beginning of the protest. Obviously, you see flares there. Smoke bombs are going off. Things like that. This is from Paul Asante Smith at Asante AFC on Twitter. And like I said, I'm going to try to bring you at this point some more pictures. Not sure if you guys follow, who you follow on Twitter, what you're seeing yourselves there. I'm basically just refreshing everything here to see, what's going on. So Arsenal presser. This one's a pretty good picture. This will give you a real good idea as to how things are going at the Emirates Stadium. Just the crowd that is forming there at the moment. So this is just outside. This is just outside the Armory and right in front of the ticket windows. So, as you can see, definitely a good sized crowd. We definitely have a good sized crowd going here, seeing chanting. Yes, I guarantee you they're singing, they're chanting the whole 9 yards. So let's just keep scrolling here, see what we get. I'm not going to post the videos now. We'll just get pictures, and here's a good one from Gooner Views. This is actually, I think he took this from Tika Taka Connor, another good Arsenal account to follow. So kind of the same thing. You can see the crowd there. I'm hoping I can get some pictures of perhaps the scene around the stadium, actually. So let's see. The Sportsman has they're marching. Well, let's see. You know what? Here, we're going to do. So this is, I don't know what this is from. It's a video. It says Football Daily in the corner. I don't know who's broadcasting this, but that's okay. So we can see now up above the Armory. There's not a ton of people up there, but it's a fair amount of people down in front of the Armory, and right there in the roundabout. Boy, I'll tell you, this it does make me miss London. I will say that I do wish I were there right now. And hey, on the bright side of things, at least the sun's out. It's not raining. But does not look like there's much around the stadium. It looks like it's pretty well concentrated just right down in front of the Armory. So, but good overhead scenes, or a good overhead shot there. So, like I said, I don't know who's broadcasting that. It's Football Daily is what we see in the top corner there. I'm not exactly sure who that is. But yeah, so I'll throw this one up there. Just I do not know who this is from. Didn't see it. But yeah, you can see the flares going off there, some smoke bombs, obviously people there with signs, and it does look, does look like a good crowd there outside the Emirates Stadium. So, good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Like I said, we need to stay united here and keep pressing forward with this. We can't lose sight of what the main goal is, and that is Kroenke out. So, Ian Abrams, Arsenal fan singing "Stan Kroenke, get out of our club." That's from says 16 minutes ago, but there's not a big crowd there in that video. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but big crowds here now. Seeing the pictures coming through on Twitter. Definitely. Oh, that looks good. Kind of makes me hungry. Yep. In the words of Claude, it's time to go. So Anyway, I guess I'll stop that for now. You guys get the idea. I'll bring myself back in here. Kroenke out, and then what? Jeffrey O'Hara. Well, hopefully hopefully, if it has to be one person buying the club, then hopefully whoever it is, whoever buys the club is going to run the club the right way. That doesn't mean a ton of money invested in players. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for transparency. I'm asking for the supporters to be consulted. And even more than the supporters, your board, for crying out loud, your players, your coach, the guy that you put in as your chief executive, and Vinay Venkatesham, to say, hey, we've had this Super League idea in the pipeline now. We've ironed out most of the details. We think we're going to move forward with it, and there's an announcement imminent. We need you. We need to bring you on board with this. And they didn't even do that. And I'll say this: I've seen a lot of people. Vinay Venkatesham out. Vinay has to go. Why? What did Vinay do? This isn't on Vinay. This isn't on anyone in the club. This is on the owners. This is on Kroenke Sports and Entertainment. Period. And the buck stops there. This is not Vinay. This is not Edu. This is not Mikel Arteta. It's not the players. And let's be perfectly clear. We need to support the players. We need to support the manager. We need to support Edu. Okay? This is not on them. They didn't do this. They did not betray whatever little trust we had in ownership. The executive board, the executive team didn't do it. The players didn't do it. The coaches didn't do it. And when I say executive team, I'm talking Edu and Vinay Venkatesham. Okay? They didn't do this. The Kroenkes did this. That's where the anger gets directed. Okay. Temp step. Fans should own 50% plus one of the club. I agree. The fans need to have a voice in the club. And I know what the Kroenkes wanted to do when they forced the shareholders to sell their shares. When they came in and did that. Did not expect this. Daniel Shaw, none of them knew until the day it was announced. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Mikel Arteta dropped the ball yesterday in his press conference. No, he didn't. He was blindsided by this. He was blindsided by it. What Mikel Arteta did the best he could in a bad situation yesterday when it comes to answering questions, about all of this. He was blindsided. He was just as blindsided by this as what we were. End of. He answered the questions as best he could, and that's it. He would, he'd give you the company line, so to speak, but impossible situation to be put in, bottom line. Fans should own 50% plus one of the club. And I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Sorry, guys, just checking my phone, checking some different things here. So, so that's we're seeing the pictures now of everything. Like I say, just going to keep kind of refreshing the Twitter feed here to see what's happening out there at the moment. So, it doesn't look like there's really anything new coming in picture-wise. Well-behaved. This is from Lathy at Lathy29. I think he's with Football London. Well-behaved Arsenal supporters allow police and paramedics through to treat to the injured fan who looks to have a serious head injury. So this is what we were hoping to avoid. My guess would be somebody probably fell from up above the armory. Unfortunately, that's unfortunate. Hopefully that person is okay. Crowd grows even bigger. This again from Lathy. I'm waiting to get anything from potentially from Charles Watts. I know, I'm fairly certain he's on the scene there. Now this is up above. I'm going to show you guys this because this is up above the Armory. On the say you can walk around the stadium. This is where these folks are at. It's above the Armory, and they could walk around the stadium from here. Chapman's is a little coffee thing. They make coffee in there. Just a little coffee stand set up. But yeah, that's the Tony Adams statue right there. So you can see they're starting to the crowd is definitely getting bigger. People are starting to fill the upper, I'll say, concourse. I guess that would be the right way to put it. Filling the upper concourse up there. So I'm going to bring in my good friend here. He is always part of the tailgate and the and Arsenal aftermath. Sauls is with me. What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm so happy to see the turnout at the Emirates today. I wish I could be there, but obviously with travel restrictions still in England, and obviously me being in Manchester, I can't really travel half the country just to go to these protests. I wish I could. I wish there was a way, but I'm glad that there's people there. Obviously, there's many of my Gooners representing today, so I'm proud of them, man. I'm honestly proud of the turnout.
Yeah. The only thing I said was, I'm all for it. I wish I could be there as well. Obviously, travel within England, so I'm not even getting into the country.
Yeah,
but it just stay safe. That's pretty much the biggest thing, on my end. Stay safe and don't do anything stupid. We don't need fights breaking out or anything like that. I've been saying, we need to stay united here, and we need to stay laser focused on what the end game is. And the end game is Kroenke out.
Yeah.
You and I haven't really had much of a chance to talk about everything that's transpired since Sunday. So, you know what? I'm gonna turn it over to you for a minute because I'm just, quite frankly, sick of talking here. I've been at it for just about a little over an hour here. So, general thoughts on everything that's going on at the club right now, man. It feels like we're witnessing maybe a little bit of the beginning of some history here.
I hope so, man. I hope you're right. And the problem is, right, all week, we finally, the thing is, we knew the Kroenkes never cared. We knew, they never really cared about us. And this just showed, the whole Super League talk just showed how much these owners care about us, which is nothing. We're just a second thought. We're an afterthought. They even came out with the statement of legacy fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can you call us legacy fans when we're the reason why Arsenal Football Club is what it is today? We made it a multi-billion-pound empire. We're the people who made it this. The fans in England, the fans in obviously North London, the global fans, even in America, Africa, South America, in Asia, these are the people who made it the value that it is today. And all these sponsorships that these guys are getting and pocketing for themselves is because of the fans and the amount of merchandise these fans buy. Even if you look at the limited edition random merchandise that they bought out, it's a madness. Like, it is sold out within an hour. And it's crazy how much we as Arsenal fans do for this club, and we don't even turn up. The thing is, even they don't even turn up. That's the most, for me, the worst thing. They don't turn up. I'm just reading the comments, and obviously there was a kid that did fall and injure himself. I don't know how true one of the comments is. I hope nothing serious comes out of that. And yeah, but on the protests and everything, I'm glad. Obviously, it seems to be civil. It seems to be like there's not a lot of fighting going on. I mean, it's better than the Spurs one. That's for sure. I can tell you that. We did bottle it at least. And obviously with the Ray Parlour comments this morning as well, the divide on Twitter especially, with some people now saying, "Oh yeah, this is how the club is, blah blah blah," and is there a point of going to these protests, etc. And I'm glad people turned out. It looks like at least 10,000. It looks like a good few thousand people have turned out. Some reporting about 10,000 people have turned up. So I'm just happy that at least the voice is being heard.
I want to share the screen here real quick. Let me bring something up here. I'm going to share this. This is actually a live feed from someone over there. And yeah, just gotta be a quicker way to do this at some point. Or I just need to get quicker doing it myself. But hey, here we go.
That's a quality one, that.
Nope. What did I just do here?
I think you went on to a different stream.
Yeah, I went on to a different strat. That's not what I wanted. Well, it says this is live. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they stopped. Maybe they're not live anymore. Nope. I would say that looks pretty live to me. I'm just waiting for it to load here. Unfortunately, it doesn't want to load very fast here. Yeah, it's live. I don't know if I'm going to be able to share this or not, but they're basically looking down on the crowd in front of the Armory.
Yeah, no, everyone's streams are a bit laggy at the minute because obviously the amount of people who have now turned up.
Yeah, definitely. We're definitely lagging for sure. So, but just scrolling the scenes here. This is Well Beast. Now this isn't today. I'm looking at a picture here, and this is not.
This is incredible.
There are people putting up some pictures on Twitter that just aren't real, quite frankly.
Yeah, I've not seen any of them yet. But I'm just watching the live stream, to be honest, and incredible, absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
this is how you protest.
Yeah, and like I said, just everybody's just got to stay safe, and hopefully the person that fell, hopefully they're okay. So, but I think Simon Collins has got something here. Let me just check a few things here, but at any rate, everything you said, man, spot on. And Red Ken is there, forever a Gooner. Great Twitter account. If you guys aren't following him, at forever a Gooner, the number 4 ever a Gooner, Red Ken. Excuse me, and he is an absolute proper Gooner. Tremendous stuff from him. So he's there.
Yeah, I've just gone through Twitter now, and oh my god, this is incredible.
Yeah. Glenn has just jumped in with us. So, guys, I know, if anyone was expecting the tailgate today, not really doing much on the tailgate, to be honest with you. Maybe towards the end here, we'll get into, maybe get into a prediction or something like that. But I'll be honest, my interest level in this game today is about nil. I'm far more interested in the protest that's going on. Oye Ale. I apologize if I'm sure I said it wrong, and I apologize to you. These protests must spill over to Kroenke's teams in America. Get the American media involved. You're absolutely right.
Won't happen.
I put out a tweet a couple of days ago that said, if you're anywhere near the stadiums where his teams here play, get yourself out there and at the very least burn a couple of calories. Take a walk around the stadium with a sign in your hand, obviously. But Glenn, how are you, man?
I'm fine. BG, I got to say, that is the whitest shirt I've ever seen in my life. You look like the last 10 seconds of a laundry commercial. That's freaking awesome.
Because before I jumped on here, I shot the last 10 seconds of a laundry commercial, believe it or not.
In my house with 2 cats, 3 dogs, and 2 kids, my white shirt would look like this shirt I'm wearing now in about 5 minutes.
Well, trust me when I tell you that I have plenty of shirts that do look like that because of the dogs. Believe me, I tell people that if anybody ever comes over here for the first time, I always tell them, don't wear black because you're going to leave wearing a beagle suit. There's just so much dog hair around here. It's like I wake up in the morning, I'm like, find it in my mouth. You know?
Yeah, that's
yeah. But
life of pets. Hey,
yeah,
Saul's great to see you. What was I going to say? Yeah, I lost track of time because I was watching the protests on a YouTube channel. And I just wishing I could be there. Just wishing so bad.
Yeah. I'm not really one for protests and actually getting out there and protesting. It's not really my thing. If I were over there, I'd be there. I'd be there 100% right now. But unfortunately, I don't know if you heard, somebody fell.
No, I didn't hear.
Yeah, somebody fell from above the. Someone fell from above the armory. Were being treated for a head injury. So a lot of people live right now too. A lot of channels live right now. So
do we have an estimate of the crowd?
Everything I've seen says that there's really no way to estimate anything at the moment. Yeah, unfortunately, I thought I had somebody lined up that's at the protest right now. They just got back to me. Unfortunately, they can't because of the number of people that are trying to live stream from the protest. Everything's lagging right now.
Oh my God, it was terrible. I had to turn it off because it just was so laggy. I couldn't even enjoy it. I was just trying to get a sense of how many people were there. Forgive me, I'm old for asking this question. Isn't there something called Google Earth where you can like zoom in? Can you zoom into the Emirates? Because then you can make a guess.
It's not a live. It's not a live feed.
Oh, it is not.
No, no, it's a satellite image, and you'll see. You ever see a car with the thing stuck up on top of the roof driving around?
Yeah.
That they're taking pictures.
Oh,
like it's just a camera that's just constantly taking pictures as the car drives down the street. But yeah, it's not a live feed. Google Earth isn't a live feed.
I love learning new shit.
I mean, Google Earth is great. I mean, it's nice to be able to look up places that I've been and be like, oh, yeah, I've been there. You know, I do it all the time with London, quite frankly. Like, I pull it up and I'm like, oh, yeah, I've been there. I'd like to go back.
Okay, so we're not going to have any idea of an estimate probably till later in the day when someone.
Yeah, I would say later in the day.
When some math science. When
Simon Collins, he's a journalist, had put up a thing that basically said it was far too early or difficult to try to put a number on it right now.
Okay.
So I'm reading some private messages on Twitter here from some people who.
Well, you know, there's one thing that I am sure of while you check those messages. There's one thing I'm absolutely sure of. This is not going away. The genie is out of the bottle. Yesterday, Josh said, hey, we're not selling. Yeah, that's yesterday. Let's see what happens when he realizes that Arsenal fans are never going to forget what they tried to do.
Yeah. You know, we talked about rebuilding trust. Well, I mean, how do you rebuild something that was non-existent in the first place? Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, you're right. I just want them to go. They are. I can't take them anymore. And this is our chance. This is the one real chance to get the Kroenkes out of there. It really is, BG. This is the chance, and we're not going to let go of it. And that's one. You know, if I was a movie star and I could just say, hey, I want to live in England, I would so do it. So, because when it comes to things like this, the total injustice of the Super League, they're not going to let this go. They're going to be out there protesting all the time. And I'd be right there with them. if
Yeah.
I lived in England. I just love the English attitude. I just love it.
I said earlier, and I've been at this now for about an hour and 20 minutes. I came on by myself a little early, but I said earlier, it doesn't, like, the result today, as far as what we're trying to accomplish with this, the result today doesn't matter. We have to stay relentless. We have to stay laser focused on Kroenke out, despite the result today.
Yes.
If it's a 4-0 win today, and we walk away saying, my God, where's this Arsenal been? How did we play like this? Missing our two top strikers, our left back, arguably our best center back, throughout the season, and Granit Xhaka playing left back, blah 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 blah. We went 4-0. How did we do this? But oh, by the way, Kroenke out.
Yeah.
Kroenke
hey, Sauls, you think this is going to go away? Because you think Kroenkes can just wait this out and it will go away?
I mean, if we think about the way we hounded Wenger out, I don't think they're going to let this go. And if you think about how many people have turned up, especially when we're allowed back in matches, this is going to just carry on over. It's going to be too long. And the thing is, right, they've said it for 15 years that they're looking to invest, they're looking to do this, be excited, all of this bull crap, and yet to see something. I don't think they're going to let this one go, personally.
Yeah, I think everybody sees. We're going to start arguing as soon as the Everton starting 11 comes out, but we're going to stay united in this. I really truly believe that.
And like I said before, I'll be honest. I just keep forgetting that there's even a game today.
Yeah.
I just keep forgetting that there's even a game, and it's let's talk about the game a little bit, and I will say this. Look, I said it before. I'm just not overly excited about the game. Now, when the game kicks off, I will sit down and I will be watching, and it will be, come on, let's go. But this is an important game. It's the opponent is good. Everton are they're a good side. But I said before, we win this game today, and we will go above Everton on goal differential. Now we'll be level on points, but we'll go to 8th based on goal differential, be 1 point behind the scum. I believe it's 1 point, 2. I don't know.
No, we're 4 points behind them. I was going to say. Go ahead. Finish.
So a win today, we go 1 point behind them, and we're in the conversation now for Europa League. Top 4 is dead and gone at this point. But top 6 is not, or 7th. Okay. I mean, look, let's think of a couple of things. Go ahead, Glenn. I'll let you go because I
want to say quick, because you're saying everything that I was going to say, and I'm like, oh, well, I have nothing left to say, and just pass it on to Sauls. When I woke up this morning after I did a couple of errands, I was like, okay, watch the protests, zone in on that, but don't forget there's a game. And I just started, say, okay, we're 3 points behind Everton, 4 behind Spuds. This game does mean something. I've been saying for days I don't care, but I shouldn't not care because it is important. And I'm looking forward to it. I know we got a lot of people out. You want to talk about the game? Who's going to play striker today? That's a very interesting question. Sauls, how you feeling about today's game?
Oh, I'm just watching the protest, and there's a guy stood on what seems to be like a ledge. I don't know why people are doing so many stupid things now, but yeah. On the question, sorry. I don't know, because it'll be a good time to maybe announce Balogun and just give him the start, because I think that's what fans want. But at the end of the day, look, I don't think anything that they do is going to stop what's going on, and it is exciting because we could be seeing Martinelli as a centre striker today.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, we could be seeing that. We could be even seeing Balogun, or what I don't want to see is Nketiah, which is what every time I say, Balogun or Martinelli could be starting in the middle. Everyone comments, nah, it'll be Nketiah. Just let me have my moment. Let me hope. Let me dream that it can happen.
Yeah, I totally agree. With Nketiah right now, I don't know if he needs to go on loan or whatever, but I see a ceiling with him. Balogun, I don't see a ceiling. I want him to start today. And you said, was it you, Sauls, that told us all that Martinelli was training as a striker? I
Yeah,
figured
yeah.
it was you. Okay. You know, I would even accept Martinelli up there if the training's going well with that.
Yeah, because Arteta was wanting to kind of keep him at bay until next season and keep him as a striking option rather than a winging option, dependent on how much they can accelerate his training because they're doing a lot of finishing drills. And Martinelli reportedly is doing a lot of individual voluntary training to make sure that he's ready to be a striker, in Arteta's words.
That's why he plays beyond his age. That
Yeah.
dedication.
100%, and that's obviously all coming out of the club saying that he's just doing extra training, which he doesn't really need to do, but he's doing it because he wants to do it. And I think that determination is just why he's been, even when he's come back and he's featured in these games and obviously started in a few of them, why he's been so good and why he's looking like a lot more of a disciplined player because he's willing to put the work in.
Yeah, FIFA 21 reference coming up. He has that. He has that something special.
Yeah, I guess we're about 20 minutes away from the lineup being announced.
The only thing that would disappoint me is Nketiah as striker, and I'm not saying that he's not good. I'm just saying I want to see the others that we've been talking about. That's the only way Arteta can disappoint me today.
So did you share a screen here?
Yeah, it's the protest if you want to just see what's going on right now.
There we go.
It's been stable, so I thought I'd give it a go on stream to see if it stays like this. But yeah, no, this is crazy.
And that's just one camera angle. I'd love to see a wide camera angle.
Yeah, Danny said is there a thing in the bottom of your screen, Sauls, that said that like allow audio or anything like that?
Oh, I'll do that. I don't think it. I'll share it again with audio.
Let's see if we can get that. I'm watching Pippa Monique's stream here right now.
Yeah, a lot of the AFTV ones have got it.
I'll let you put that back up. I'd much rather see that because she's like at ground zero with this thing, man. She's like right in the thick of it. So
yeah, I've shared it again.
Those are the laggiest. Those are the laggiest ones.
Yeah,
people that are right in the middle with their phones.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Believe me.
Is there any audio coming through?
I'm not getting any audio coming through on.
Do you want me to send you the link instead? Because I think you might be the only one that can share the audio with it.
Wish Danny were still here because he's the one that told me how to share the audio with this.
Oh no, it comes up at the bottom. It says share audio when you go in application windows, but it doesn't give me the option to do it. I'll try. Share screen, Opera tab. Oh, here we go. I've got it.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
I can't even talk to you guys and look at my phone at the same time. Props to you guys, man. Another thing that would disappoint me today is if Odegaard's on the bench. If he's on the bench, he can start. Let him start the game.
Well, is he fit?
They said he could play today, unless you've heard something different.
All I heard from Arteta was a lot of these guys are ahead of schedule. So
I've heard he went back to training on Wednesday. So I don't think he'll be ready. I don't think 2 days of training is enough. But he might be on the bench, if anything, I think.
All right. I'll accept him on the bench. I didn't know it was just 2 days. I didn't know it was just 2 days of training.
Well, full training was 2 days. But then I'm guessing that might be okay because he's done individual training. So there's a possibility. Oh, this is beautiful. This is
Isn't
beautiful.
The camera just panned left a little bit, and you saw a whole bunch of more people. I wish it would do a 360 or 180 at least.
It's a little troubling that there's so many paramedics there.
Although, do you know what the funny thing is? A lot of the police turned up. I don't even think they expected this. This is at least 10,000 people.
It's a lot. It's a lot of people. I wonder if they can't get up around the stadium.
I think they need a whole TV production for this, but I think this is the most professional one I've been able to find.
Yeah, stick with this one. At least, I wish we could see around the bend there, but yeah, that's a decent amount of people. I love it.
Because even if you look at where the Arsenal thing is, there's a whole load of people on there as well. Because I was just on the phone to Albert as well, and he's showing me his angle. Everything's full. Like the whole around the stadium is just full.
Oh, okay.
So it's just.
See, so now we need some math scientists to figure this out. If they're surrounding the stadium,
I mean,
like
if they're around the actual stadium, up on that concourse that goes around the stadium, that's a lot of people. That's probably, if they're doing that, that's probably 20,000 people.
Like I said earlier, everybody knows this is our chance to get rid of them. What they did was disgraceful.
Yep. Social DRG, there was a chap trying to get down from the roof who face planted the floor. Hope he's okay. Absolutely.
And you know what, right? The best thing is these fans just paved a way for the guy who fell. They just separated, and there was a lane just to the ambulance. And this is what I'm saying. So far, it seems so civil. Yeah, like these plunkers here that are just on the roof. Like,
what are they standing on there?
It's over. See, this is dangerous.
Yeah.
It's basically just an overhang over the ticket windows. That's all it is.
Why are they putting so many people up there?
Because they're idiots.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, guys. This
is dangerous.
That's just something bad waiting to happen right there. Okay. But regardless, did we really
Why is there more people trying to get on? Where are you going to stand now?
Right. And that thing's not going to hold much more weight. I mean, that's not meant to be stood on.
The thing that worries me is a handful of people. Let's, for the sake of argument, say there's 5,000 people there. Just a handful of people could ruin it for everybody because that's all people would talk about. If that thing collapses while they're standing there and somebody gets seriously hurt, that's the story.
Yep, yeah, it's gonna become the story because they just keep putting more and more people up there, and
that's not a structure that's meant to be holding weight at all. It's just there.
It's just an overhang to basically while you're standing at the ticket window. It's just an overhang for the folks working in the ticket window so they can see you, so the sun's not beating down on them. I've heard a lot of Super Jack chants, and there was a rumor that he was showing up today. So I wonder if although they're chanting Santi Cazorla now, and I know he's not there. So, excuse me. Oh man. This is crazy. This is something else.
I didn't expect this. I'm not going to lie. I didn't expect this to be.
I do just want to say a big thank you to everybody in the chat that's still here with us. Temp Step, Social DRG. Great turnout. Just no need for the silly behavior. Send the message. Make sure everyone makes it home safely tonight. And Social, brilliant. That's spot on, man. That's exactly what it is. They're starting to. I think they're starting to. This thing's probably making some noise.
Tubbs there asked a good question there. He says, "What are your feelings on like?" Obviously, he says, "I wonder what the atmosphere is inside with the players during warm-ups. Like, what?
Yeah.
Do you think this is affecting them in a negative way, or do you think this should be riling them up?"
All I've heard is nobody blames the players, the manager, and staff.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that they would take this personally. And on the flip side of what we're seeing right now, we also have to realize that COVID took an entire year away from the younger generation, and they're frustrated and they're out. You know, a lot of them probably for the first time in a crowd. It's easy to get carried away and stand on something that wasn't meant to be. They're coming down now, so I'm happy.
They are, yeah. I think that thing probably started to make some noise, Glenn. And they're like, "Oh, wait a minute. Hey, we better get down from here." Because there's one, he's getting down. 2, maybe 3 people left up there now. Somebody just threw a drink at the one dude sitting there. Probably the best place for them to be if they're going to stand up there is against the wall. Don't stand out on like that dude sitting on the edge. I mean, get up and move back. You need to be where there's at least some weight bearing, sort of, structure, not structures, but whatever. They're all getting down now. Thank God for that.
BG, I'm going to take 30 seconds to tell you I'm in total awe of you right now, an American who's been to the Emirates so many times that you know exactly where they are, how that structure is built. It pains me sometimes because people think, they just lump all us Americans into saying, oh, we just say soccer, and I hate that word. I never use it. And that we don't know what it's like to love a club. And here you are telling me the outlay, the blueprint of what I'm looking at because you've been there so many times.
Now,
and I'm in awe of you, BG.
So that what you're seeing, and thank you. But what they were standing on, like I said, it's an overhang, and the ticket windows are right there. It's the box office, Glenn. But then right beside that's the Armory. It's the team store. And they're all basically congregating at this point in front of the team store. And then if you look in the distance, sort of where you see it says Arsenal, the wall up high, kind of in the foreground. If you go straight out past there are steps that lead up to a concourse that basically encircles the stadium. And you can walk the concourse. I mean, when I've been over there, I'll be honest, it'd be a great spot for me to take. Well, I wouldn't say great because there's no grass there. But you see people like running around, like doing laps around the stadium, or people walking or jogging. It's a decent little area to get some exercise in. If there were grass and trees up there, it'd be great for me to walk the dogs up there. I could let them pee on some of those trees that Hector Bellerin's planting. But
I wonder what they call pooper scoopers in the UK. Do they have a different name for them?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
Pooper scoop, poop bags. I have one of those. It's like, if you ever see the one, like it's the claw. So
yes.
Handle it and lift it. Yeah, I have one of those, and then I have bags. So I got with 3 of them. I'm like a Boy Scout over here, always prepared.
I'm so in awe of Arsenal fans right now. I'm there in spirit so bad right now.
Hey Daniel, this is a non-rated show, so you're all right. You don't have to worry, because he said sorry for swearing. You don't have to apologize, man. You're good. Trust me.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Lone Star, I want to tell you something, man. We don't agree on much, and I know I pick on you sometimes. I've said this before. I'll say it again, man. Your loyalty. I can't thank you enough, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You have been with this from the beginning. You talk about roots of the tree, the roots of my YouTube tree. You are definitely a part of that, man. And what you put here, you're witnessing the roots. You're absolutely right. That's a great way to put it. So thank you for being a part of this and being here, because this is it will not be historic in the immediate sense. It will be historic in the longer term. And I do agree with Lone Star. I think we're witnessing the tree being planted and the roots starting to now spread. The Kroenkes won't have anyone to blame for this but themselves when this is all said and done. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. But this is down to the Kroenkes just not taking the time to learn what English football, what European football is all about.
What they do is they live in a billionaire bubble,
right?
And things don't penetrate that bubble, but this will penetrate their bubble. They will see this, and they'll have people whispering in their ear in that little bubble, "Don't worry, this will die out. Don't worry. First big signing of the summer. They'll all be quiet. They won't do this anymore." No, this isn't going to stop until they are fucking gone.
I just have to say, Tubbs protest going on, and we're talking about shit shovels.
It was my fault.
It's tremendous. That's tremendous. That's great. Yeah, Tubbs. Sorry, Tubbs. We'll try to stay on topic for you. Hey, man,
that was my fault.
No, I've been at this for an hour and 40 minutes.
Do you know how the Kroenkes could divide this fan base? And this is a big if, right? If they sign 5 or 6 world-class players, that's the only time where there will be a fraction of the fan base who are going to turn around and go, "Do you know what? Actually, they're trying." But up until then, I don't see them.
Well, there are people. There's not that many, but they're making a good case. If you look at what happened yesterday, the idea of fans being more represented at Arsenal Football Club. But, they're just taking the little bits and pieces of it. They all want the Kroenkes out, but they are saying there are some positives from yesterday.
Real quick, Temp Step, do me a favor. Where are you from? Tell me that much. Says, can we here in the U.S. set up a protest by the Kroenke resident? Well, you don't do that here. You don't go to somebody's house and I don't care how rich or anything else. You don't go to their house and set up a protest and start a protest. That's
not a European thing. That's
not smart to do in this country. Or somewhere they'll be present. Yes, you do it at their stadiums, Temp Step. So SoFi Stadium in Englewood, California, suburb of Los Angeles.
Oh my God!
What happened?
What happened, Sauls? What did you see? A starting lineup or something?
Yeah, someone told me something I didn't want to hear.
Oh no! All right. So you have the lineup in front of you, Sauls?
No. Just one position I didn't want to know.
All right. Well,
it's got to be striker because that's got to be the only position that's somewhat up. So
I won't ruin it.
I mean, it's got to be Eddie.
If the man is 32 years old and used to play for Chelsea, I'm going to be really pissed.
Oh no, he can't play strike. He might be on the wing. I actually don't know about him if he's starting. But it's the person who's playing. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just saying that because I think I kind of said it now. Yeah, it's Eddie. Eddie's playing.
Yeah. I mean, what do you expect? He wasn't going to start. He wasn't going to start bad. If he'd have started Balogun, I'd have fallen out of my chair. Temp Step, to answer your question, SoFi Stadium in Englewood, California. It's a suburb of Los Angeles, or Denver, Colorado, outside Ball Arena, where the Denver Nuggets of the NBA and the Colorado Avalanche of the NHL play their games. I'm working with Sophie Nicolau from the Highbury squad. We are going to try to get something set up over here where we can do those things. I actually might be flying out to Denver to lead a protest, to sort of organize a protest in Denver. So we will see. Stay tuned. Watch this space. We'll keep you posted. Jorge Casemiro, big up from Ottawa. Thanks for being out there, brother. Tubbs, yes, it sounds like Nketiah is starting. So I think our best hope is to try to nick this thing 1-0 in the end. But I got it. But I have to think, though. Balogun's got to be on the bench because nobody else. Yeah. I would think that Martinelli gets a start at left wing. Maybe not. We do have a Europa League game on Thursday, but we have an extra day off too. That's the other thing to keep in mind. We have an extra day off before Thursday. So I don't like that we're playing Friday, but I have to go to work at 5:00. So I'm on my way to work. I'm gonna be listening to the game. But I totally just lost my train of thought here. The bright side of playing on Friday is with a Europa League game on Thursday. Hey, at least we're not playing Sunday, where we only get 3 days off. We're playing Friday. We actually get 2 extra days. Yeah, 2 extra days
on Villarreal as well. I think Villarreal are playing Sunday, But I will double check on that.
Even if they play Sunday, they're not traveling.
Actually, even worse for them. They're playing Barcelona on Sunday, so they can't even rest players if they wanted to.
There you go. So, it's starting to hit me now. It's starting like the game coming up.
We need to go and just smash it, bro.
Yeah. Everton is winless in their last 6 games overall in all competitions. We're 3 points behind them. There's no home advantage. I'm feeling 2-1 Arsenal. Even though Everton are slight favorites, believe it or not.
Are they really?
Yep, slight favorites.
Tubbs. Sorry. Probably going to be on. This is from Daniel Shaw. Probably going to be on Sky Sports shortly. If not, I would imagine that. Tubbs, for fuck's sake, game kicks off 3 a.m. here. Tubbs, you're in the Philippines. I'm fairly certain you said you're. In the
he said Philippines.
Yeah. So God bless you, man. Yeah, absolutely. 3 a.m. That's shitty.
But that shows the dedication of Arsenal fans around the world.
And there you go. Arsenal fans around and Dubs, you're going to be up. You're going to be watching that. And you know what? God bless you. God bless you. Wherever you are, watching, because I've taken some shtick. I'm not going to call it abuse. People have given me a bag of shit about being American and being an Arsenal fan. I had a guy yesterday tell me that I don't get it, and we had a bit of a row and on Twitter. And but I get it. Believe me. He said, "Yeah, but have you been to that cold, wet, rainy Wednesday night in Stoke?" And funny enough, Yankee Gooner from Arsenal Vision said, "Well, we've never played Stoke on a Wednesday night."
Lineups have been released.
So have they? All right, let's get into it. I'm actually not going to put this up on the screen. I'm gonna leave the protest up. Leno starts in goal. Chambers at right back. Holding and Mari are the center back pairing. Got to feel good about that. Granit Xhaka at left back. No changes in the midfield. Danny Ceballos, Thomas Partey. Looks like Smith Rowe is going to start behind Eddie Nketiah with Bukayo Saka on the right, Pepe on the left. There is no Balogun on the bench.
Okay, whatever.
Odegaard is on the bench. Reece Nelson is on the bench. Martinelli is on the bench. The Pyramid Pirlo, my guy, Mo El Neni is on the bench, obviously. So there you go. Yeah, no Balogun on the bench. NBC, here we go. So Mike from the Gooners pod. Mike, thanks for being out there, man. NBC just showed scenes at the beginning of their broadcast just now. They showed a video that was clearly 2 hours ago, showed the main concourse full, but no one on the lower concourse by the Armory. So if that was 2 hours ago, then we have live scenes here right now. This is live.
America, hands down, has the worst mainstream media in the world. It's not even funny. They constantly lie. They constantly manipulate. And NBC is one of those villains.
Yep, absolutely. So let me ask this, and it was a good question. I don't know that we really touched on it. What do we think the mood's like for the players in the stadium? Because we know they're on the field warming up right now. It's 2:00. Well, it's 5:00. No, excuse me, 7:00 over there.
We touched on it earlier. No Arsenal fan that I have encountered in the last 72 hours blames the players, manager, or staff. So I don't think this affects them at all.
I hope so. Sauls, what do you think?
I think this should motivate them to actually go out and performance in. Because the thing is, right, one thing they need to understand, this isn't a protest against the players or managers. It's a protest against the board and their constant disappointment and lack of investment into Arsenal Football Club. And I hope that's what they understand.
So my buddy Egal, who is he's native Canadian from Canada, but he's actually there right now. Sauls, do me a favor, keep that screen up.
Yeah.
Keep that screen up, but I'm going to drop that screen out. I'm going to bring Egal in here because he's there right now. Oh, there we go. Hopefully we're going to get him in here because he is at the protest right now. So hopefully the internet works for him and we get him in here and hopefully we can hear him. And he can give us some scenes as to what's going on over there. Daniel Shaw, we're trending on Sky Sports News now. Would have to think, Rancid Pumpkin, big up yourself. Sam, proud of the Arsenal fans today. Absolutely. Oliver, his connection I think is bad. So we'll leave him in here. Hopefully it picks up. Hopefully it works. There he is. Egal, can you hear me?
That was every YouTube channel that I went to before we started.
Here we go. So we're getting the idea
nice
from him now. Yeah.
It's like a slideshow.
Yep. There we go. Good stuff.
I hope you can see this.
I sure can. Gal, if you can hear me, let me know.
You guys can see this. Stan Kroenke and the fans have made their voice heard today. Over 6,000 fans. We did this for you guys in America, like Glenn. We did this like guys like you, Slen, in Manchester. Guys like you in Philadelphia.
He's cut. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, we lost.
I was so digging him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hope he comes back. That was awesome.
Igal's a good dude. Good dude. He does a good job over on his channel. I know a lot of folks. I know a lot of folks follow him over on his channel as well. But yeah, he's there. He lives down south, South England. I don't want to say like I don't want to say it's. I don't think it's Southampton, but he's down in that area somewhere. I think he's down south. So.
Oh yeah, you told me earlier. I forgot now.
Yeah. Yeah. Throwback to dial-up internet, Sam. Yep, absolutely. So yeah, you know what, fellas? I've been at it for almost 2 hours. I do have a few other things I need to do before the game here. So
absolutely,
let's get some final thoughts. We'll move on. You know what, Sauls, I'm going to leave this up. I'm just going to leave this up on the channel. I'll drop us out for a little bit. I'll leave this up on the channel for a little while if you don't mind leaving it open on your end.
Yep.
Even when we're at it here, I'll leave that up and running so folks can. It's at least a live stream on my channel. So, but Sauls, give me just final thoughts on everything today, and then just a quick thought on the game.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely delighted with the turnout. Obviously, Igal saying there's about 6,000 people. Obviously, it's only been going for about an hour. They're gonna be there for the game, and I hope we can hear them on the TV. That's the main thing. I hope we can see, obviously in the broadcast we can hear this happening, and I just hope no one does anything stupid. But in terms of the game, I think it's been a second thought because of all the European Super League and everyone being deflated about the league, just the season just being null avoided because of like what was going on. And I hope we get a big win because that'll send a statement. And then we've got an extra 2 days to prepare for this big Villarreal game. And yeah, man, I hope the boys can go out there and do us proud.
Yeah, if we were battling for top 4, I'd be disappointed with that starting 11. But it's good enough. I see a 2-1 win. I didn't hear a prediction out of you, Sauls. I predict 2-1, and I'm so proud of Arsenal fans. But I just felt this was going to happen today, and I'm glad to not be disappointed. It's just outstanding. What's your prediction for the game, Sauls?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna go for a big one. I'm gonna go 3-1. Arsenal.
Real quick, interview with Callum Chambers inside the Emirates. You can 1,000% hear the protesters loud and clear. They need to keep this up through the entire game.
100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So get some rest, BG, and we'll see you.
No rest for the weary, man. I'm off to go. Dogs are at daycare. I got to go pick them up and get them squared away. Yesterday was National Beagle Day, so they got a few extra rubs and a few good treats. So you guys know me. That's the one thing I put above Arsenal in my life is those 3 little beagles. They're the loves of my life, man. I love those little goofballs to death. So shout out everybody in the chat, guys. Thank you all very much for being here. I was by myself for a while today, and hopefully it was all right. I didn't come across as being too stupid or anything like that. But today's National Mike's Penis Day. I will be over later to give that some special rubs as well, and maybe even a little treat. No, seriously, Sauls, Glenn, thanks for jumping in here and saving my ass.
Oh no!
Because I don't know how much longer I was going to be able to keep up the solo act.
No, as long as you could hear us over your shirt, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, I can see you over the shirt. I can hear you just fine. I haven't been able to see you guys real well. But
take care.
Shout out everybody in the chat. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. We'll leave up the video for you if you want to just continue to watch. You can find your own live stream of the protests. Watch the game. Definitely listen for the protest outside. Hopefully NBC on our end of things doesn't pipe in the crowd noise to the point where it drowns this out. But at the end of the day, guys, as always, it's been good footy talk. We'll see you out there.